kitty. Oh, you need some water, don't you? You can have some of mine. Hi. Yo, 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 yo. Yeah? Yeah, you're not going to push through? I've been going to bed pretty early the last few nights myself. I've just been like, no. No, I don't feel like being on Twitch at 3 a.m. my time when everyone is a troll. I'm good. Yeah. Yeah. What's that old line from... It was from... I think it was How I Met Your Mother. And it says, nothing good happens after 3 a.m. And I used to solidly disagree with that line as an avid after hours party goer. Used to be like, what are you talking about? 4 or 5, 6 a.m. is when I get laid the most. But anymore, I'm starting to be like, nope. And that was a show about people in their 30s. So anymore, I'm like, yeah, nope, I'm good. It's about 12:30. I should be getting home. Especially I don't drink anymore, so now I don't make dumb drunk decisions. I liked it a lot more when it first started airing. I feel like it kind of lost itself in becoming a loop. It just kind of looped the same concept a few times there. But it was a solid show in the beginning. And Barney Fife, what a great character. Let's get the gayest guy in Hollywood to play the straightest dude possible. Like, it wouldn't have worked if it wasn't him. Or Bernie Stinson, that's it, yeah. Barney Fife. That's fucking... Barney Fife is the old sheriff from an old TV show. Barney Stinson, that's right. I like when it shows Barney in his younger years when he was like chill and he was a cool guy before he was crushed. So what's your plans today? What are you up to? You just chilling? It is a Sunday. I think I'm going to be doing a lot of little work tonight, if that makes sense. A lot of, oh yeah, I got to go and change this setting on that thing. Ooh, the Steam Autumn Sale. That does sound pretty exciting. Let's open Steam and take a look. Unless it's the same stuff from yesterday, but they may have changed it. Much excite. You weren't here. I was very excited before I started the stream. I yelled through the house. I was like, "We're doing it!" And then I hit start recording and I went, "Hey." Space Engineers. Okay, Neon Drive is a blast. But it's not like... I put like 50, 60 hours into Neon Drive because I love beat games. I really, really love beat games. I can't guarantee everyone's going to get the same experience out of the game, but it is like, what, $2 or something? So it's kind of one of those ones that you just kind of throw in a cart anyway. Because you're just like, just get in here. Just get in here. Come on, we're going Neon Driving. But Space Engineers, that has looked pretty fun. I think the next game I want to get is Kerbal. Because that seems right up my alley. Yep. And there's some multiplayer Napoleonic warfare game that looks really fun. Yeah, that looks up my alley. Like I don't even know how many hours I have in Factorio. So like, where do you go next? I tried Factory Town. It sucks. Whoa. Mortal Kombat. How is that? I mean, like... This looks interesting. Rebel Inc. Kind of looks cool. Ooh, yeah, I guess I'll just wait then. I'll skip Kerbal, and I'll wait, and I'll go for Kerbal 2. I've wanted to play through Celeste. There's a few games I've wanted to play for their story, but I tend to like games that are not story-based. That are just like, build a thing, or manage some stuff. You know, the last fighting game I really liked was Absolver. I had Absolver for my PS4, and ooh boy. I don't know if you played that one much. It was cool. for me, for a non-fighting game nerd. What was neat about Absolver compared to other fighting games, Colonel, was that you learn one of 4 schools. Actually, I think it's one of 3 in the start. You have to unlock the 4th, but so you like Stone School or Wind School or whatever it is, and that unlocks a series of moves. And then throughout the adventure part of the game, you just wander around this city fighting people. And as you fight them, the moves that they use on you, you will slowly unlock. And you can then go into your stance and swap out what moves happen with what combos. Or in which stances. And I think you have 4 stances: forward, goofy, sideways, and the other, or backwards and fuck. I don't remember how the 4 stances work. But you have like jab, hook, and then if you throw a hard right, that'll move you into your right hand forward stance. Where now hitting X might do, a right uppercut followed by a right elbow into a left kick, which then puts you into that stance, which then mashing X is starting to do stomps or some shit. So, you build this deck of combat moves that you kind of rotate around and use, which, as someone who likes management games, that was my end. Was how do I build the perfect set of moves? Whereas other people were just better at the fighting end of it, where they were like, oh, I get that there's this move takes this many frames, and this move takes this many frames, so if you start to use that one, I'm going to use this one and interrupt it. Well, fuck. So it was an interesting game. I felt like it represented a lot of different strengths. I didn't have to be the best fighting player in the world to compete against some people who were probably better at fighting than me, but didn't have as good of a combat deck because they weren't as into the deck building aspect. But they had a few dumb aspects like stats that didn't really matter and only one mattered, so everyone just dumped into the same stat and but they have updated a few times, and I think they added a new school. The final unlockable school was Drunken Fist, and Drunken Fist was, come on now. If you're not playing Drunken Fist, you're doing it wrong. I think it was actually called Swagger Stance or something. But you're doing the this stance. Stardew Valley. I know a lot of people who play Stardew Valley, so I feel like if I got that one, I can play with them. I pirated it, so I played it a whole bunch on my own. So on the other hand, I don't really feel like playing any more fucking Stardew Valley. Space Engineers. Yeah, that does look pretty cool. I'll put that in my wish list when I have some dollars. I didn't make it very far in Stick of Truth. For some reason, it just didn't. Yeah. Are you talking about this classical song? I forget what this is called. Yeah, I forget, that song has a name. I've heard it for some vampire-esque stuff before. in which it was like a really fitting thing as well. Vampires and like future shit. That's my jam. I don't give a fuck about zombies. Zombie apocalypse can fuck off. It's boring. Give me a vampire in a castle who's summoning demons. A good old Castlevania game. I don't want to live in the I don't want to live in the zombie apocalypse. I want to be Richter Belmont. Van Helsing. Would that be fun? Like, my job is to kill spooky monsters. I hunt werewolves. I want the Twilight world to be real, so I can be a vampire hunter in Twilight world. Is that possible? And I don't care if it's a good weapon for it or not. I'm using a whip because it would just be a waste. You know, I never did. Yeah, it was overdone in 2010. Zombies. I never got into racing games. My buddies were really into them. Like they're way back in PlayStation 2 era. Like they had the extra controller hookup that was a steering wheel thing and all that. I'd watch them, sit there and watch them race and upgrade their cars and shit, but ooh, okay. Yeah, I think that's what my buddy played, was Need for Speed. Mordhau. Kind of looks fun. I'd like to try Disco Elysium, but it's way overpriced, I think. Scrap Mechanic could be right up my alley. Scrap Mechanic. Just shapes and beats. That sounds fun. That sounds hella fun. Which one? There's a few new card games. Eternal? But then there was also like the Dota one. And if you're only saying kinda new, that depends on how far back you want to go with like Hearthstone and shit. I'm a big Magic the Gathering player though, so all card games are kinda new to me. I like Slay the Spire. I like Slay the Spire a lot. That one's fun. Cool, yeah. Yeah, there's a few that are kind of like that. They're like deck building adventure games. I'd like to see one that's not a roguelike. I'd like to see one of those that's a straight 50-hour RPG. I've always dreamed of a world, right? Picture this with me, okay? Magic style, right? Deck building. Okay, imagine Slay the Spire, but like you're only allowed like 60 cards or whatever, just like a Magic deck, okay? And that's your MMO. So your MMO is no longer about an endless grind upwards in numbers. It's no longer just like, I have a sword that deals 1,000 DPS and now I got one that deals 2,000. Yay. it's more deck building, or it's like you unlock weapons or deck or cards that have new abilities and trade-offs that may not fit with what you're doing at all, but might be really useful for a totally different build. That's the world I want to live in. Right? Yeah, combos. You're building combos for yourself. So by the time you're level 50, right? Let's say this game has no levels. But to be high level or to do top end content, you need to have a deck that can do really strong combos. And the reward for this really strong monster is a rare card. And you use the thinking that Magic the Gathering Company or it depends on how far back you want to go with their logic. But their logic was rare cards are not strong cards. Rare cards are complicated cards. Mythic rare cards are really complicated. Mono Black 5 Eva. Speaking of, I was just saying, how cool would an MMO be if instead of an endless grind upwards in level, you basically unlocked new cards? So the card may or may not be good for you. You might want to test it in the build that you're running. You could have a separate build that it's really good for. So it's not a linear power scale. It's just like a... Certain games will have weapons or abilities in them where it looks like that's, what's... Oh, cool. Fucking, dude, if you need a card designer, once you get some... Shit, you don't even need to pay me. You gotta pay me later. But, I will card design all day. Man, I would love to do game design, not game programming. I don't want to program. I want to do game design, where I go, this is the way the system is going to work. This is the upper level, like I was just doing. Like, we're going to make all of our magic items, okay? Okay, so this is a sword, right? All swords deal the same amount of damage. So this magic sword, what makes it so magical is that it deals 50% of regular damage, but it attacks twice. That's what makes this sword magic. That's it. It's not stronger than a regular sword. It just attacks twice. Now, if you have something else that makes it so that every time you attack, you deal 5 extra ice damage, well, now attacking twice means you just dealt 10 extra ice damage. Okay. Now that magic sword has a purpose to you. I'll leave it to you guys to program that. I just want to develop this end. This upper end. I could maybe dabble in character design. I like doing a little bit of that. And I feel like, how do you prove yourself in that skill I'm talking about? Do I just need to design board games all day? Like, for a company to go, oh, we need to hire a games designer who understands the bigger picture of the way these systems are interacting, wants to help us design what the core gameplay loop looks like. Like, how much time should a player spend grinding or searching for better gear versus advancing the main plot of the story? When do we want to put power gates on the main plot and be like, look, dude, if you don't have this kind of armor by this point in the game, you really shouldn't be advancing because it's going to be too hard. So let's put like a boss right here where he's very low hit points, but he deals a shit ton of AoE damage. So if you have a lot of armor, he's easy. But if you don't have armor, he wipes your entire party instantly. The second you have enough armor, you can beat him, and now you're good to go about the rest of the game, because we know that you have enough armor to at least deal with that. Like, those kinds of problems are problems that I learned how to solve through Dungeons and Dragons. And I would love to bring those things to game design, because so many game designs are totally lacking in that department. And it feels like it's like a game designer is just like, I made a thing. Here you go, guys. Use it however you're going to use it. I don't know how that's going to be. And sometimes they get some test feedback that lets them know, but I feel like there's so much more you can build into how you want players to interact with your game through the structures of the game itself. And I'm forced to do that as a dungeon master. Like, in a big term, and it's spreading around now. Everyone's starting to learn this term and what it means. It's called ludo narrative. Ludo narrative, you have your narrative, which is like, gotta save the princess. Your ludo narrative is Mario needs to run right without dying. Right? I mean, isn't that how we as players actually interact with the game? Hello. You're looking pretty cute there yourself. That's a pretty cute username you got there, Tally. Yo, you kind of cute too. Let me see them feet, girl. Hey, yo, girl, let me see them toes. That costs money. Okay. That's premium Snapchat kind of stuff right there. All right? No, that might be regular Snapchat kind of stuff. It might be like Snapchat toes. Premium Snapchat whole leg. The answer to that question, Arrow, is an egg. You couldn't abstract your way out of a cardboard egg. You think you're so real. You think you're so real, but you couldn't abstract your way out of a cardboard egg, could you, kitty? What's up, boys and girls? How you doing? Why don't y'all show me them toes? I want to see them little piggies. I want to see them all lined up for the bread line. Every once in a while, 3 or 4 people drop in at once. It's like they're all in a Discord with each other or something, and then they'll be like, let's go troll around, buddies. But you could call me the great hero of the fjord, because I fucking love killing trolls. Huh, kitty? The fjord will be purified of their presence. The fjord has no place for these trolls. You ever just sniff markers? Yeah, it's basically that. Waiting for Siege to install. Fuck. Waiting for Fortnite patch. More like it. Siege? Siege? You're an old man, Bones. Beard. God damn it, why do I always call you Bones? This is weird. You need to change your name. What up, Wank? How you doing? Ohayo gozaimasu. Ohayo gozaimasu, Nico-chan. What you doing? What you doing? I kind of want this game now. I've had it just sitting here open on my screen for a while and looking at these pictures. Yazi! Yazi! What up? Everybody who went to sleep around the same time as me is now showing up, which I think is wonderful. Want some future bones. Future bones. Want some future bread. I added, is that the term these days? When you at somebody? I at City Girl today on Instagram, and I was like, marry me, be my waifu. You think she'll? Do you think she'll be my e-waifu? Good. Good. I'm glad you've been having good streams. It seems like you've been you haven't ever come in here and been like, man, that was a rough stream. So that's great. To be honest with you, I have not really had a rough stream. Aside from days when I'm like really not feeling well physically and people are trolling around at like late at night, and I'm just like, I don't want to deal with this right now. But I don't come out of it being like, man, that was hard. So I can't say that you're necessarily gonna have to deal with that, which is great. I hope you don't. Boop, boop, boop. Booping on that kitty. Anybody got any cool things they're doing today? Or is everybody just chilling? Every time I'm like, what are you guys doing today? Literally everyone is like, chilling. The fuck do you people do aside from chill? Have you ever sent me a message asking what I'm doing today? Hey! Did you change your category when you changed out of league? What category do you use when you're doing FL? Doing my mission? Fucking always on a mission. An endless quest. I would say that most category. What is with this one piece of hair here attacking my face? Yeah, see, now that's an interesting tag. That's an interesting channel. Being the 8th million person playing League is not so interesting. The only reason anyone ever comes in here is because I'm like, okay, first of all, we're on just chatting, right? So these things don't apply to other places, but like, I'm a man. People like to pop into just chatting just because I don't have tits and I'm not pumping them up in the screen for subs, then I'm not actually really that manly, right? So of men that you look at, I kind of stand out. So like I've got a thing going on. There's a reason I can exist in a saturated field and be, of course it will get me less views. But, how do you put this? Jesus Christ. Every muscle I have today has been cramping if I do anything with it. So, being a man on just chatting will get me less views, but because this is called the Ringo effect. Okay? Who is your favorite Beatle? Who of the 4 Beatles is your favorite Beatle? Does anyone want to throw a response in chat so I don't look like I'm being completely rhetorical here? Because if a few people do post something in chat, then my point will be all the more poignant. You don't know any of the names of the Beatles? If you don't know the names of the Beatles, then this whole point is a little harder to explain. So here's the concept. The Beatles has Harrison. God damn you, shut the fuck up, Beard. Shut the fuck up, Beard. Get the fuck out of here. You're ruining the whole fucking concept. Alright, so here's the thing. Ringo is everyone's least favorite Beatle. He wrote one song and it was about an octopus, okay? Nobody gives a flying fuck about Ringo. They've literally said multiple times that they could have changed him out for anyone else and it would not have mattered in the fucking slightest. Most of the times Ringo would show up and one of the members had already recorded his parts. So he'd be like, well, I guess I'm just gonna go home then. And then he'd go home, okay? But when you ask people, who's your favorite Beatle? And you poll people, right? Because people know that no one likes Ringo, people will say Ringo. People will be like, oh, I like Ringo. He's a sweetheart. He's a nice guy. So the clear standouts of the Beatles is John Lennon and Paul McCartney. Right? But then you have George Harrison and Ringo Starr. Well, because people pick Ringo because they feel bad for him. You see what I did with my finger there? See where George is? Watch what happens. Who's the least favorite Beatle now, bitches? It's George. So, by existing in a field that is dominated by female performers, as a male and being confident about it, people who prefer to choose alternatives, people who like Dr. Pepper more than Coca-Cola, will choose to watch my channel because I'm in just chatting and not a booby streamer. Is the logic. Does that make sense? Because they'll be like, look at this guy out here on just chatting without tits. Look at him. Go. Team M. Squad W. Squad M. Do we got Squad M? So, like, it's the same concept as like being a meme of the thing that you are doing. So if you were like a league player who only played Cogma top, like some stupid bullshit, and you just did it and kept doing it and kept doing it, people are going to watch you who have an interest in League but are sick of the things, the trappings of a thing that make you actually get viewers as a League player. But the problem with League is even that market is already saturated. It was when I was playing League. There was already a shit ton of meme players who were like, you know, Tarek mid lane to diamond. You know, so I jumped into just chatting because it is the fastest growing community on Twitch. And I already had a really good setup for it with what I was doing on Chatterbait, where I was just hanging out on Chatterbait and being basically like a late night talk show of some weird sort. So I already had this backdrop, and I already had a logo thing that I got up here, like some bullshit. So it was like, oh, I see. Well, the whole reason I went on Chatterbait in the first place was because I wanted to straight compete with nothing but women, right? Or men who are doing something very different than I'm doing, right? If you're a dude and you're on a porn cam site, your performance is usually not this. So presenting this on a porn cam site was something no one else was doing. So I was like, wait a minute. I don't see anybody else really doing what I'm doing on Twitch in this category yet. Now, in the amount of time it took me to get my shit together and actually get on here and get started and get more than 10 people watching me ever, a few more people did make the transition from whatever game they were playing, where they just, instead of having a small cam, they just went, whoop, hey, now it's all just me. So you do have some major players who were in other games that came over, but there's not a lot of men who've made it in just chatting alone at the moment. You have people like Ice Poseidon and shit who did IRL, which was damn close. I mean, it was basically the same thing, right? Except IRL meant you had to be outside doing shit, whereas I can just sit here all day. I couldn't do IRL as a disabled person. What the fuck? I can't just be outside all day. So there's all these little tiny reasons why I've been like, I think this will work, but I don't. But I'm not an expert in any of this. Ayo. Thank you. I appreciate that. Do you have nice hair? Do you have good looking hairs? Or do you have little tiny scragglers? Little tiny scriggles? Fuck being outside, dude. The sun is out there, and all that thing wants to do is kill us. Nice. Ooh. You have to design a publicity stunt? That seems interesting. That seems like a very fun process. What gets people's attention these days is the first question there, right? Nomad event. Meow meow. Let me see them locks. Shake them. Long hair don't care. Club. Crew. Yeah, let's fill that, get that cup getting filled up. My webcam is directly, it's on a tripod, directly blocking the actual tip cup from my site, so I can't actually see it. Shake them. Shake them dreads. Oh shit, so you know what rich people are planning on intentionally happening? You mean what rich people are actively designing? Let's just collapse the ecology and then rebuild it after all the poor people are dead? So then it'll just be us rich white people left to rebuild the world in our image. People will never darken by living near the equator again. It will only be us white folk for the rest of eternity. That's the big plan. You know what it's called, the JQ, the Jewish question that neo-Nazis talk about, where it's like Jews are infiltrating all the top positions in society in order to destroy all the other races. Hold on one second. What's up? I shouldn't be laundering money. You're right. I'm sorry. I have that same conspiracy theory, except it does not involve the Jews in any way. It's purely just rich people. It's just rich people. They just want to destroy everyone else on Earth and leave a scorched Earth that is only survivable by them. You must have $1 million to get in the bomb shelter. Bye. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's okay. That's interesting. Did you ever read Ender's Game? That's what it immediately reminded me of. Is the okay. Well, just think of the very first chapter of book 1, because it quickly gets ditched. The monitor that they make him wear, and they made Peter wear, where they're even being monitored means that you must have been genetically predisposed towards these traits. Then the process of being monitored makes other children treat you differently, which is partially what the monitor wants, so that they can see you. Uh-oh. As I'm talking about the Jewish question, and then all of a sudden Grandma walks in and tells me not to launder money. This better not be what this clip is. If you make me out to be a fucking neo-Nazi, I swear to God. God damn it! God damn it. God damn it. I just look like a Jewish question conspirator who launders money now. This is getting bad. This is getting bad. Okay. Right now, you're making it sound like an alternate reality game, Zalty. Okay. Right. Gotcha. I got you. People are going to think it's an alternate reality game, and they're going to try and crack your shit. But I guess that will dispel it, and then people will talk about how it's not. As they're like looking up who your domain names are registered to and shit. The internet's a crazy place. Yeah. You just got to get it to be so prolific that they want to make videos about that, right? Like that's always the big thing. Offer like $1 million prize to people who can figure it out, but don't give the prize out so people are really fucking pissed and make videos about it. Or that, you know, my brain didn't jump to that conclusion. I've only been online for an hour. You don't need to trust that bot. It's lying to you. I don't need to drink water. I have water. I have water right here. That bot is only supposed to go off every 2 hours, but for some reason it always goes off after 1 hour. It'll then go off every 2 hours after that. Right, with no spelling errors. Heroes Season 3. Before Season 3 went up, Heroes did a bunch of weird things involving like extra like a website they set up where if you were, you know, interested in developing beyond the usual limits of human, you know, condition, apply here, blah 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 blah. Because the next season was all about like the organization giving superpowers to regular people, like in experiments. So before the season went live, they kind of set up a website as though they were collecting applicants for that experiment, and it was fun. I mean, viewers of the show figured out what it was pretty quick because it carried the name of that was on like a business card that was handed to someone in one of the episodes, and everybody, you know, solved the problem pretty quick, and then was like, "Oh, it's about heroes! Yay! Eat your food! Don't give me that look." Yeah. I have a short story I could send you that I wrote where children who successfully hack into certain websites that are set up as honeypots, their parents are arrested for it, and the children are taken to a corporation, basically, that then puts them to work building virtual reality protection protocol barriers. And I kind of wrote an album that went alongside similar lines, and hold on, I will play something for you real quick. SoundCloud.com/me/ I am power / I'm that guy who got called power. So this is the next step after that story, right? The virtual reality system has been further perfected. And we now see someone wearing the helmet here in my top image, as you can see. And that was a big theme across a lot of my music. You see the guy with the helmet here, the guy with the helmet here, the helmet here. Was this virtual reality thing. So here was the first track from the concept album.
And thank you for your cooperation. You have just endured the personal
audio frequency range test.
Please hold while we adjust
parameters to your specific range of audio perception. Thank you for your cooperation. This is the virtual auditory simulation program.
You will endure several neurological adjustments through the course of this experiment.
Thank you for your cooperation.
Each user experiences the program differently, and your experience is important to us at
AVES
Industries. This is why all neurological activity produced while under the effect of this program is hereby considered sole property of
AVES
Industries.
Any ideas, creations, or memories you may have while wearing this device are being monitored at all times.
Thank you for your cooperation. Please relax. Now that you are relaxed, we are ready to begin.
So that's the intro. And if we skip forward a little bit, you will hear the wonderful voice acting of our friend Once and Future Beard.
Listen. For the past 10 years, AVs has been, as ridiculous as this sounds, stealing people's mind. Now, I know what you're thinking, but just listen, please. Just listen. Understand. They started with the scientists. They thought they were giving up their bodies for the pursuit of science.
Yeah, this is all from my album. I did everything for this.
Then AVs got their contract with a few years ago, and then they switched over to soldiers. And then they just turned into deleted files and missing persons reports. Okay. Then now you're next.
They're going to steal your mind.
We're going to take your memories away from you, and then
you're going to be a non-person.
You'll stop existing. You'll never have it.
That's like where the album starts, and then of course, volume. So that's where the album starts, and then of course it plays like some electronic music, and a lot of it has to do with memory and the existential, crisis that memories bring about. I also do a little voice acted bit here. Good morning, sunshine. You want to listen to what it sounds like when I do voice acting? Here we go.
Warning.
Malicious software detected. Rebooting system in 3, 2, 1.
My name is Power. You do not need to be afraid. This is only a virtual representation of myself.
So AV's Industries wants to copy your mind. You wouldn't be the first.
Look, there's no easy way out of this.
The Basilisk application is about to erase every memory you have. Survival leaves you with only one option. Give me your body and memories, and I will use
use them to erase AV's industries for good.
Besides, what other choice do you have?
After this, you're not going to remember
Anything.
Reboot sequence complete. Please continue to enjoy your virtual experience.
And that, my friends, is Enter AV's Industries. Man, I would love to make like a virtual novel. At this point, is what I think it was that I was trying to do. There wasn't really a lot of precipice for that in the beginning, because I was working on this project about 10 years ago, and at this point, I would fucking love to take my entire concept and turn it into a virtual novel, but that's not going to happen. I would love to work on anything. I mean, if you got any sort of project and you're like, hey, I think it would be fun if you, I don't know, is it under the blanket? Oh, didn't eat today. But yeah, Zalti, let me know what you're working on, and like, fuck yeah. If you ever just want to like sit and shoot ideas back and forth, because like I got my D&D thing, and like I'm always running different shit for that, but I've always been cool. I can't code. We were just having this discussion about how I would love to work in game design. I can't code. I don't know the coding languages. But holy fuck, do I know game design. I know game design theory. I know like, if you want to look at it from a top-down level, like how do we want the user to interact with the game, and what kind of experience does that give the user, and like through not just the narrative, but what is the narrative as perceived by a player interacting with a device that then like feeds them a story. What is the story that is communicated there, and all that shit. Man, we can go on and on about that shit. Fucking coding? I do not know. I can do spreadsheets. I can do spreadsheet based. Might be a game storyboard. So story design is something else, Sunshine. So like, I feel like, and that's another skill that I have, right? Where I could be like, okay, so the story is, all right, the players really aren't going to come into it for like 500 years through this history. And the history is going to go like this. 500 years ago, there was a civilization of elves, and they were primarily based around their religious worship. But they didn't know that their religious worship had actually been usurped by a different deity that had replaced all the images of their deity slowly but surely throughout the 500 years with depictions of himself. So that he was slowly, like, we can do that, and that's storyboard. But being like, can we... It's like, can we like okay, so let's say that then we choose to do one of those games that's a point and click adventure. Do you know what I'm talking about? Where it's just an image, and you got to click on the right things, and doing so unlocks new areas of the story. So let's say we decide to do a point and click. So we know that clicking on the gloves is the piece of evidence that you need in this room to advance the plot. But clicking on the picture, right? Let's make it so that other items in the room are clickable. Let's make it so that if you click, we want some red herrings, first of all, some things that you could click on that aren't the evidence you need. But what if we also put completely unrelated information about the deceased character in through these other clickable items? So like, and how do we want to relay that information? Well, when the detective clicks on the picture, is it his thoughts that we want to hear written down? Or do we want maybe there to be a note on the back of the picture that he's reading? And then after that, do we want it to say comma and then it's the detective's thoughts? Depending on how we do this, puts the person in the role of the detective, or it puts them as viewing the detective solving the case, right? Because if we can view the detective's thoughts, I'm not the detective. I am someone who is watching the detective solve the case. If all I get is the writing on the back of the picture or the picture itself, now I'm the detective. I have to figure out how any of this information is even relevant. Is it? Probably not. How much of it do we want to put in there? What if we put 50 fucking unrelated things aside from the piece of evidence in this person's room to get across the concept of just how cluttered they were and how they're a hoarder? So every single object in the person's room is associated with some memory or significant thing that they have. So in this person's room, we're going to make everything clickable to get across the concept that they are a hoarder, right? Rather than just showing a room full of shit, let's make everything in the room a clickable object so that that you as a player feel claustrophobic about the amount of shit glowing on your screen when you move your mouse. So that is game design to me. That's talking about the Ludo narrative, and that's the thing I am most interested in these days. Plot and story structure is really, really cool. I like it. I think it's fun. I think that there are experts in it who can take my general ideas and spin them upward into something even better. People with more experience in English and stuff like that. Game design is a not well talked about, not well discussed, very cloistered kind of thing. It's hard to find good information about game design. I have... Is it this one? It is this one. Oh boy. This is notes and notes and notes and notes. Level design. Tight corners equals claustrophobic and close. Maze to confusion. Above, perspective to reward. Start with emotional response, then employ environment plus mechanics to evoke that emotion. Hunted, chase, exhilarated, time is urgency, impossible, slave slash saved, relief slash despair, right? An impossible scenario that you are then saved from is relief, or it could be despair. Driven by mechanics. Leverage modules and mechanics to deliver the experience. Create paths for every player type. Strength, dex, int, chaw, whiz, puzzles with infinite solutions. Time problem of content. If I flip it over, on the other side, we have campaign design. Current quests wherein completion of one aids in others. Bi-directional levels, etc. Reuse modules like Metroidvania. Tie side objectives into the main narrative thread. NPCs' lives are shown through small windows. Use all tools available, environment, theme, etc. to avoid info dumping. Nice. So yeah, your game design as in like that kind of stuff, like the principles of like how okay, so you're talking about like content and the actual story and the game narrative designer, the gameplay loops. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about pretty much, the gameplay loops. Game narrative designer. Yeah, that makes sense. You're constructing the way in which all the pieces are going to come together to deliver a message to the player themselves. And that is something that is what a dungeon master is. Realizing that if I read out the description of a room very, very, very slowly as you enter the room, you find it sparse, covered in dust, broken cups, cobwebs, a faint breeze, is totally different than you bust in and find it empty. nothing but cobwebs, dust, broken cups. The frenetic energy of one means that, like, the reason you're delivering it in different ways is different at different times and shit like that. So that's all I have to, that is the thing to manage as a dungeon master. D&D ASMR, baby. Here we go. I still do want to, like, there's a few that I have written that I'm, let's go to docs. I would love to just read stories and stuff. There's a guy, there's a few channels that all they do is read, like, creepypasta from Reddit. And that's what their YouTube channel is. And I'm like, what a fun job. Woo, sneezes. No, not that. Docs. Docs. Google Docs. Give me my docs. Salty, people on Twitch succeed if they are able to rant. That is the key feature of a successful personality. Is the ability to not only say what you're thinking, but say what that person's thinking, and that person's thinking, and that person's thinking. All be a virtue of just not shutting the fuck up. Yeah, wait a minute. Isn't it summer for you? Isn't it entering summer? I still think it's weird that in Australia, like, they still celebrate Christmas with pictures of fucking snowmen and shit. What the fuck? What the fuck is that? Nobody in Australia has ever built a snowman for Christmas. I don't know if I can straight say that an Australian who's never left Australia has never built a snowman. I don't know about that. But I do know that they damn well never built one for Christmas. Fuck, I feel like I got the shit beat out of me while I was sleeping. Oh, God. Okay, so you do have snow, but just never in December, January, February. Like, you know, like all our holidays associate, because all culture is European culture. All last night, right, I kept waking up. It felt like I was just asleep on concrete. And like I had my hand under my head like that, like under my pillow, right? Like my headphone is my pillow. Right? Like you put your hand like this. And the pressure of my own head on my hand was so much that it like woke me up in pain. Like I had to move my hands out like this to where I was sleeping, and then my shoulder hurt. So I was like, well, I guess I'll lay on my back. So I'm laying on my back, and then like, I don't know. I just couldn't get comfortable, and it was not funny. I don't know why I would think to say it was not funny. Like anyone would just be sitting there laughing at me while I'm sleeping in pain, but maybe God was. Maybe God was laughing at me. Otherwise, not funny. Oh. I didn't take my morning pills. Fuck. That's probably also why I'm feeling so shitty. When this little lunchbox with 6 things of pills in it feels like it weighs like the heaviest bowling ball they have at the bowling alley, that's a bad day. That's a bad day. I'm about to medicate in every way possible, sunshine. This is a ritual that takes about 10 minutes. Take each and every medication out of the thing. Put it on the table. Take all those medications, put them in the mouth and swallow them. Do 2 bong rips. Rub the balls on your wrist. And when I say the balls, of course, I mean these. Oh. Oh. Ooh. So when I say rub the balls on your face, I mean this. Oh, fucking god damn, this feels good. Oh, yeah. Rubbing these balls on my face is like the nicest feeling thing in the world. And I don't know if I told everyone this, but you can freeze them. They have liquid in them, so you can have frozen balls on your face. But be careful. I put them on my eyes because I had a headache, and they were frozen. And then I got really scared that my eyeballs were going to freeze, so I stopped. I forgot to put this one on. Open. All right. All right. This jacket's coming off. When I wear this shirt, frozen balls on my face. When I wear this shirt, I feel like the guy from Jurassic Park. Newman. Okay, good luck. Good luck. I need that sound clip. My desktop audio is still on. Hold on. There's a good sound clip for this. YouTube. Original Star Fox. Good luck. This is what I think of every single time I say the words good luck. Is this audio clip. Come on, fucking YouTube, load. I'm trying to do something before somebody goes and does some other stuff. Here it is.
Good luck.
That's it.
Good luck.
That's the soundbite. Good luck. And then you load in and die within 3 seconds because Star Fox for Super Nintendo was fucking hard. Morning, it's raining. Raining? It's summer. What? You guys, with your all over the world being motherfucking... It's cool because a lot of my friends here are from like random ass places like Australia and UK and Japan and I forget who it was last night. It was from South Africa, Johannesburg. I was like, tell me all about that. What kind of work do you do, Sunshine? That's right, you've said that multiple times. Have fun dealing with all the idiots today. You'll survive. They can't kill you. They can only cause you to kill yourself. Well, they can kill you. Just don't put them in charge of any heavy machinery. Where the fuck is my... Oh, I got you. I want to die. I want to die. We'll live. We'll make it through. I'm listening to music. You guys just can't hear it. You guys just can't hear it because it's not done through the Discord, and I can't play music on the channel anymore because if I want to put videos on YouTube. Blame YouTube. I mean, I can. I just am not allowed to get any money for them. Which doesn't really matter because I've never gotten money from YouTube anyway, and you have to have 100 followers or whatever on YouTube before they'll even give you dime one in the first place, so it doesn't fucking matter. So does any of it didn't matter? No. Oh, just become nearly homeless. That's all you have to do. I mean, honestly, I'm streaming full time basically, and I'm not making minimum wage. So yeah, in order to do it, like, God, that's what it is. Okay, 1,000 subs. Yep. Fuck that. I mean, I guess in the process of acquiring that, it doesn't matter what you do. You don't really need to worry about any of your videos being monetizable while you're on that road. You lose it. Ooh. You lose it if you don't maintain that. It's pretty rough. Man. So if you meet the goals, do you get back pay? Probably not, I'm guessing. You just get paid from then on out on the videos, or... Yeah, no. Didn't think so. Yeah, so then it's irrelevant whether they were monetizable or not. Just do whatever the fuck you can to get back into Twitch or YouTube partner. Huh. Most interesting. Let's get on Tinder and try and get laid. It's a daily ritual. Hey girl, I'm a popular Twitch streamer. Wanna bang? Send. That's gonna be my message to all of them. And even though I only have 3 to 5 average viewers, I'm gonna lie. Because that's what you do. You're never gonna have sex unless you lie. How are you gonna convince someone else you're not disgusting when you find yourself disgusting if you're not a good liar? Fuck that. So you need to get 100 subs. You need to reach into another market. So you got to like start doing some collabs and shit. On my Instagram photo, I always use the second filter on Instagram for every single picture. Oh, yeah. Nice filter and a good lie about what I do. And we might be able to get me laid one day. I just took my jacket off. I was wearing this underneath. Look, you look like a pretty goth chick. What's up? Come on now. Hook it up. Hook up. Hook up. Let's do it. Now Tinder tells you how many people on Tinder like you, which is depressing. Okay? Because it used to say 9. Which I was like, okay. I have like 9 pending matches. Like if I find them and I'm like, I like that one, then it'll match, right? That's pretty cool. What is omegle baiting? What is that? What does that mean to do? Not gonna lie, I don't even know what omegle is. That's scary. That means that you have to let unvetted people on your stream who may just scream obscenities? Oh. Spooky. Usually a dick. 10 dicks to every one chatter. Every day I intend to save my daily super like for a good waifu. A good anime loving weeb-ass waifu. And every day I spend it on some blonde, big boobied Scottsdale girl. And then I sit here in shame thinking about what I've just done. And that's life. Life's a prison. Life's a prison. You're here until you die. I had 9 people that were like, yeah. So someone got in trouble for that. You're not actually allowed to show that on stream. Right? In a weird way, because they're not publicly available pictures. In a strange way. I don't know. I know a couple people got in trouble for it, though. That's what I do know, is that people got in trouble. And I know I know Destiny got hardcore fucking trolled. Somebody in his city made a fake profile, found him, liked him, and then like deep trolled him good, which is just funny. But yeah, what Twitch does and doesn't think is okay is very strange. It was the same on the Chatterbait, though. What Chatterbait was okay with me doing was very weird. You know when I have the small screen over here that shows like whatever game I'm playing or some shit? Chatterbait used to boot me off if I did that. Not allowed to show other media. But I can play music all I want through Chatterbait. So I don't know. I know some of it has to do with like international law, but some of it is just like moral policing on a level that's unnecessary. And very little of it has to do with actually protecting the streamers themselves, which is really fucking sad. How much effort is put into what streamers can and can't show on their stream, and how little effort is put into, say, stopping people from trolling streamers. Yeah. Like, yeah, that's a slur. What? I know people who refer to themselves as that. But now they don't, right? Now they all don't. Now they refer to themselves as content creators and sex workers. Just straight up. And I got gatekeeped a lot in that world. I got gatekeeped really hard by women in the sex industry. They let's just say female sex workers at large do not seem to take straight male sex workers seriously. Like using the difficulty of how, like, it's obviously very, very difficult to get into the industry as a straight male sex worker, right? And they use that difficulty as means of saying that you are not no real Scotsman, right? No true Scotsman, not a true sex worker, because you only have 20 followers on Instagram or on Twitch or not on Twitter or whatever. Okay. Does that mean I'm not showing my junk on the internet? Like, what does that mean? So they gatekeep hard, and it was really frustrating. I was way more frustrated by my coworkers, not coworkers, but other people in the industry than I was by customers. Any point. And you can clip that. I'll get in a lot of trouble for saying those things. And it will be undeserved trouble because it's fucking true experience I went through. And that's fine. That's fine. But outright gatekeeping to say that you are not even of the same job because you don't have as many customers is like a really weird way to ensure your power level. Like, the person already doesn't have as many customers as you. They're already weaker. Like, I had one in my entire 6-month like parade of posting content on Twitter. Only once was it ever shared by another female sex worker. Exactly. I'm not even of the same customer base as you. I'm a potential coworker. I am someone who you could potentially make content with, who may have female viewers who will be interested in your content. You, if anything, are probably going to be getting my viewers, not vice versa. Very rarely will a follower of a female entertainer see her work with a man and go, oh yeah, I like what he did there. Very rarely. But a follower of a male entertainer very frequently will probably be like, damn, she was hot. Because a lot more women are comfortable with their sexuality in that way and are willing to be comfortable with either. So to me, it was always a win-win for them. And it was a way to show that they were willing to put a hand down towards when they talk about how repressed they are in other fields. I expected them to then, within a domain where they have power, reach a hand down toward me and be like, yeah, because we love each other here, because we are a collective of equals who have mutual respect. Because that's the views they espouse. But instead, it was like, oh, you do if I'm either a female or already famous. Cool. And of course, me saying that may be narcissistic, to say the only reason they didn't work with me is because I'm a man. That you could interview every single one of them and they could say, I just didn't like his personality and I thought he was ugly. Maybe that's what they all felt about me, so they never wanted to reshare any of my stuff. But I don't know what to say to that. Could be the case. I was told by other men to expect what I experienced, so that sucks. Hey, and that's probably something they do. That is totally probably a move that they're doing. Yeah, I don't need to do that. I don't need that. So that sucks. But so you think they'd want to be like the one of the good ones trope, right? Let's pick this guy up because he's acting like one of the good ones, and we'll show that if you behave this way as a guy who wants to make it in this industry, we'll help you. If you behave that way, we won't. I never was impolite. I was always, very respectful. Never did anything like requested any of their content. There was one girl who I followed who, she'd say things like, for example, all of them are like DMs are for business only. So I never messaged any of them. And I would just do things like share their posts and share it with like, hey guys, I'm broke, so I can't buy her content, but you sure as should, or you sure as fuck should check out, Miss Purgatory's beautiful new set. There you go. And I'm not like asking her for anything for it later, nothing, just like I'm just sharing people I like stuff. I'm not expecting them to reshare my content. I'm expecting maybe anyone to. All right, have fun, sunshine. But to end that, I didn't get the chance to make nearly as much content as I think would have been a respectable amount either, because my solo content was very weak. And I could not find a working partner, so I'm still in the market. Bye. See you when you're done with work. Do I respond in chat? Do I have to put commands? Do I have to put like exclamation points or something? that would be a bad idea because then that could interfere with people's channel commands. Capitalize chosen, get rid of the space in between and or. Capitalize let us begin. You gotta fix these capitals, my friend. Mein friend. I like the confirmation received and the delay. It makes it seem like it's searching a database. Instead of just like a ping pong, yes, no, you say yes, I give you this. Makes it seem like it's actually initializing something or creating files or searching files or something. That Magic City, yeah. She won't put the name in the city, yeah. Come on, I'm getting freaked out. Just getting geeked out. And what is the intended response method? You might want to put that in the first message. Like, simply respond yes or no in chat to each of the questions. So that way people aren't trying to do like weird commands. Best part about Bumble, you do this, it lets you go back. When you're like, wait, no, that was a hottie. What have I done? Yeah, see, I couldn't skip her. Hi, doodle doodle doo. Come here. Come here, Sprocket. Oh, you just wanted to come look around. Okay. Alright, I need to take a quick break and do some stretching. I'm almost hitting that 2-hour mark, so here we go. I'll be right back. You what? Yogna Yahweh Yasesernu Yatledi.
I used to love to do Greg's laundry.
Find a shit ton of money and a bunch of plastic baggies. Eating a Twinkie, trying to get a little bit more energy. I finished that coffee and I'm already exhausted. Life is pain. And death is an understandable escape from that. So let's all kill ourselves. It'll be pretty cool. Oh yeah? What's that one mean? Okay. Hello. Fuck. Why am I already getting so tired already? I said already multiple times that sentence. 3 p.m. This is pathetic. I woke up at 1 p.m. Well, like noon. This is stupid. This is what's called hypersomnia. No matter how much you sleep, you still feel tired. That's why you always see me slamming Red Bulls and coffees and shit, but sometimes it just doesn't get me there. I think by Thursday, though, I'll be seeing a new doctor who I think is gonna be good. I think that'll help. I try. I can't even bring myself to do it. Like I'll get into it and I'll die a couple times because I don't have the energy to do it, and then I'll just be like, this fucking sucks. There's a difference. There's definitely like a mode I'm in where I'm like a little not that much energy, and I'm like, I just need to do something to wake myself up. And there's this where all of a sudden like exhaustion just takes over. So I might have to log out in a second here and just go fucking lay down again. For another couple hours, get one more REM cycle. I had a lot of pain in my sleep last night, so it probably really fucked up my sleep. And so I wasn't resting much. Thanks, man. Yeah, I think that's probably the best option for me right now, is to just call it instead of forcing myself through begrudgingly and sitting here being very boring. I'll just log off for now, and I'll log back on later, and I'll be a lot more full of energy and exciting. So, until then, my friends, goodbye. I love you.